Dan, we saw you smiling through that video. You've done just about everything in your career. What makes this opportunity special?
You know what? I'm a pretty present and focused individual for the now and the moment, and that's all nice to see that stuff up there. But for the team, for the players, it's all about right now and this moment. And I said I'm just I'm thankful for the opportunity for the moment to be now, and I think it's with good people and a good organization and with good players, and for me it was a great fit for this to be the next opportunity for me.
Ron, Chris Francis from Cairo 7 News. What makes Dan, in terms of style play on the ice, what we'll see on the ice next year, what makes Dan different than this system we had last year?
Well, I think there's going to be a lot of similarities. I mean, we'll discuss some of the things here as we move forward, things we want to tweak that maybe we weren't doing as well last year. Our offense certainly fell off, so we need to find a way to kind of tweak some things in the offensive zone to get offense back. But as I said in my opening, I mean, he brings a passion to the rink every day. His teams play hard every night you watch them play. The thing that's been exciting for me is, year one down there, we had an extremely veteran team, and they were still able to get to the Calder Cup finals. This year we transitioned over. We're no longer one of the older teams in the league. We're one of the younger teams in the league. A lot of young kids coming into our lineup, and yet they were still to get to the Final Four and hopefully beyond as they move forward here. But a lot of progress, not only from our veterans that have been there, but our young kids that have been there. And the Kraken fans saw a little bit of that in, Ty Cartier coming up, Riker Evans coming up. They got a taste at the end of the year with Wright and Winterton and Morris, and there's some other young players that have progressed as well. So I think the ability with our team, which has a mix of that, the veteran guys, the young guys that I mentioned, Matty also being a young guy, I think Dan's personality and style of how he coaches will mesh well with our locker room and help get the best out of our players.
Como News here in town. Good to see you guys. And actually a question for both of you. For Ron, Dan's experience with those young guys you just mentioned, how important was that as he went through the process? And then for Dan, the ability, the chance to continue that development with those guys as more and more of them arrive here in Seattle.
Yeah, obviously it's important. I don't want to slight. We got a team here that we're focused on. A lot of the younger kids were down there that he worked with, but I think just how he worked through both the veterans and the young kids, like I said, I think will bode well for our team here. But certainly, if you look down the road, and we have a lot of good pieces coming, and Dan and his staff have showed that they can develop young players as well as veteran guys, so that's important in making this decision.
And I heard you say recently, you were talking about how young players have changed from when you were a young player in the 90s. And you answered that it was more incumbent on coaches to change from the way they had been coaching. Why is that?
I think let's go back a long time ago. As coaches or as players, we got told what to do, and we received it anyway we knew how to receive it. And I think today and my coaching style, it's about relationships. It's about getting on the same page with the player and the individual, and they're a part of it. They want to be a part of it. They want to have the discussion. They want to have a clear plan and message as to how they can get better and how they can improve and how the team can play and be successful. And so there's a much bigger onus on the coach to be able to establish relationships with not only each and every individual on the team, but also the team as a whole. And as I said, it's incumbent on the coach to make that change in how he coaches, and kind of for me and my journey over the last 15 years of coaching is been just that.
I'm wondering, it's been several years now since you've been behind an NHL bench running it. Was getting back to this point a goal of yours at some point in your career, or were you kind of not resigned but happy with the roles that you were taking on as an assistant or working in the minors?
I think my coaching journey over the last three 3-4 years has led me to this point. 4 years ago, I think I needed to discover the joy of coaching again and changing a little bit and establishing relationships with the players. And having done that over the past 3 years, it's led me to this wanting to be the opportunity that I took next. So yes, in the last few years in Coachella and how our teams played, how the players reacted to me, how we came together as a group has reignited my desire to be at the National Hockey League level. So it's kind of my journey that's led me to this point, and one I think I'm better prepared for now than maybe I was 4 years ago when I referenced that time point.
Along the lines of the previous question, I'm just wondering where you think your a coaching style and approach with players has changed the most since you left Buffalo. Let's say in terms of temperament, in terms of just your overall relationships.
Probably just the joy of what Ron mentioned about what he's witnessed over the last 2 years, 3 years, when connecting with the players, coaching the players, developing the team, has been kind of where I think I've improved as a coach and what I've wanted to improve as a coach. And I think it can be a little bit difficult when you get to the National Hockey League to do that. And this time around, it won't be.
Dan, you've talked about the importance of relationships. With this being the off season, I know some coaches go with letters, meetings, recommending books. How will you connect with your NHL roster going into next year?
Well, gonna be going immediately back to CV to get game one going underneath the way, but I will reach out to each and every one in due time. A few of them have already reached out, so if some of them we've had previous relationships with and have already started to develop those things. But I also think, having been in the organization for the past 3 years, I've talked with Jared McCann and I've talked with Ebbs and Matty Berniers, and I think I have a pretty good feel for them, and they have a pretty good feel for me, and so but that will continue. I will get to and reach out to everyone in due time.
I was on the ice interviewing you, one of the guys when you hoisted that cup, so obviously a vivid memory. I remember your joy.
Yes.
But two history questions. One, what also stands out from that team, obviously besides the talents of Sid, Gino, and Stalzy and Flower, the intangibles. You might be seeing it now in CV too that make it a championship roster. What other things are vivid?
The great thing about hockey is it's played with skill and speed and grace in a combination of competitive brawn and aggression, and when you look at that team, when you look at those guys, like just great competitors, and every great team has ultra competitive players, and every game that's won is won by the best competitor, and that's necessary and mandatory to win hockey games. And so you get the speed and skill and grace, but you need to have some tenacity and aggression alongside it to be an ultra competitive guy.
I got to ask you, with all your experience as a head coach, with your previous stops, and your stops as an assistant head coach, what's been the most important thing you've learned and experience you can bring to building success on a team?
Bowling Green. No. It really goes back to my playing days, both on an individual standpoint and a team standpoint. And we talked a little bit about maybe how the old coaching style was back then. And as a player, I just wanted the coach to let me know what I needed to do, where I needed to go, how I needed to do it, and where I could get better, where I could improve. And I would take it from there. And so all along as a player, I kind of knew I was going to be a coach someday, because that's how I wanted my coach to be to me. And so it goes back to establishing relationships with the players and having clear expectations, and that goes as individually and for the team. And that's kind of my coaching style now. It's going to be high energy, and it's going to be, they're not going to question my energy at all. And they don't need to question what I expect of them and what I expect of the team at all as well. And we're going to get in that process together, and it's going to come out in some ultra competitive hockey.